Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing metering modes and what they actually mean, so let's roll the intro and get to it. Yeah, today we're going to be talking a little bit about metering modes for your cameras. Now, what are metering modes? Well, in modern day cameras, all of them have a little chip inside that measures the amount of light in the frame. So why do the modern day cameras have this and the older cameras don't? Well, back cameras, when they used to use film, they didn't have any chips or computers or anything like what they do today, so you had to manually measure the amount of light with a light meter so you could get the correct aperture and shutter speed and ISO, all which constitutes to the exposure triangle. So why do the modern day ones? Well, since we've moved into the digital era and everything became automated, someone designed a little chip that goes inside a camera that measures the amount of light that's getting let into the frame. So how do we control this? Well, we control this with a number of ways. We have different settings on our cameras. We have matrix metering, which is also known as evaluative metering for Canon, center weighted, spot and highlight priority. Now, with Canon, they're a little bit named a little bit different. I just mentioned the matrix / evaluative, but the spot on a Nikon is also similar to a partial metering on Canon, where on Canon it does a little bit more of an area than the actual spot on a Nikon. But Nikon have also got one called highlight priority, which I'll get into a little bit later. So how do we know that this light meter is working? Well, when you look through your viewfinder, at the bottom where you've got your information bar, there's a little set of dashes which go to the plus and the minus side. So if you point your camera to a bright area, the little meter will start going to the plus side, whereas if you point your camera to a darker area, it'll go towards the minus end. So it's telling you that there's not enough light to get a correct exposure. So to get the right exposure again, you'll have to either increase your ISO or decrease your shutter speed, or if possible widen your aperture, just so you can get that little meter back to the zero end. So with that said, is all these different modes? Well, matrix or evaluative metering is where it covers most of the frame, as you can see here in this picture that I've done of a northern gannet. So what it does actually, it takes different light metering from all around your frame, as you can see here where I've highlighted in red. So it's basically taking it from different zones, putting all that information together so you get the correct exposure. So why wouldn't you leave your camera just on matrix metering for all your photography? Well, you may be wanting a different look to your pictures. Like, you may not want your background to be as bright or as dark. So this is why they've come up with different metering modes. So whereas centre weighted metering, that just takes a little part of the frame, as you can see here, where it ignores everything around it apart from where I've highlighted, and that takes just the light from there where it could be dark, it could be light, and gives you the correct exposure for that one little spot. So whereas everything around where it's not highlighted in red will probably get a higher or lower exposure depending on what the colour inside that one circle is. So say you've got a brown animal, or like here for the gannet you've got a white head, everything around it for the gannet would be a little bit darker, whereas if it was a brown animal and a darker subject, it'd make everything around it a little bit brighter. So the next one is spot metering, or in Canon's case, partial metering. This is a right small little dot, as you can see in this frame. It's just the smallest, maybe a little bit bigger than your focus point on your camera, and it just picks up, same as it does with the others, on that one little area, which again, a bit like your centre weighted, it'll just take the metering from that one little point, which brings us to the last one of highlight priority, as you can see on this next one. It's pretty much the same symbol as the spot, but with the little star at the side of it, and a lot of cameras nowadays have this one, but it may be called something different on your camera. Now what highlight priority does, it protects your highlights from being blown out, should I say. So it works a little bit like the spot metering, but it'll protect your highlights. So if you're shooting basically a white bird or a white animal, it'll protect your highlights from the background. Or matter of fact, if you're shooting say a grey seal or a fox or a bear or something a little bit darker in colour, it won't blow out the highlights from the background, because the background would more than likely be lighter than your subject, because your camera would be metering for the brown instead of the area around it. So how do we change these different modes? Like on my camera, I have a little button on the top with basically a picture of the matrix metering, and all I have to do is press that little button and turn one of my dials. But on some cameras you have to go into the main menu and change it that way. The best thing to do is basically pick up a book, a bit like the one I've got here, and it should tell you, or your instruction manual, how to change these modes. I hope this video has been of some help to you understanding all them little symbols that you may have seen and what they actually do. Best thing to do is either join me on one of my courses where I can explain it a little bit better to you. There's a link down in the description below to my website, where I've still got plenty of courses all through the year, from seabirds up at Bempton to waterfowl, even grey seal photography down in Norfolk. And I do a lot of courses down in Norfolk for the grey seals. I also do a mini break as well. That aside, if you join me on one of my courses, I can explain it a lot better and you can see it in real time. Or there's plenty of other videos out there where you can also learn. But I hope this has been of some use. If it has, please give me a like. It helps the channel immensely. Also, if you think someone else would like it, please share it. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. There'll be a lot more videos similar to this one put out there to try and help you along with your photography journey. So until next time, take care, be safe, and bye for now.